Inner Voice, a heartfelt chat with Dr. Foojan.
Welcome to the Inner Voice Show, a heartfelt chat podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Foojan Zeine. I'm a psychotherapist, author, and the creator of the awareness integration theory. So thrilled to be with all of you today. And I promise conversation is really, really enjoyable. It was a joy to speak with Rainie Howard. She's a renowned best-selling author, speaker, and a visionary leader in personal development with over 17 years of experience. Rainie has connected with millions worldwide through her powerful teachings on self-love, emotional healing, and relationship building, something that we all need and enjoy. And it's like never enough to know that, right? As a CEO of Love Bookstore, an e-commerce business, and Inspired Flow, she's a leadership and life coaching firm. She is dedicated to empowering individuals to live with purpose and fulfillment. Rainie's latest book, that's the one we're going to be talking about, The Love Habit, is a transformative guide that empowers readers to cultivate healthier relationships, especially with themselves, right? While embracing transformative power of self-love. Her groundbreaking work has been featured on major platforms like Fox, NBC, and ABC, reinforcing her status as a leading authority in emotional intelligence, mental health, and spiritual growth. Through her podcast, The Rainie Howard Show, she continues to inspire and uplift audiences, providing insights that guides others toward holistic growth and a life filled with joy and fulfillment. Rainie's mission is to help people awaken their inner potential, encouraging them to embrace their unique strength and lead empowered, purposeful life. And we had a very amazing conversation about how to do that. And I'm sure that as much as I enjoyed it, and that you will also enjoy and gain a lot. Now, be sure to subscribe to my podcast, my YouTube channel, and connect with me through my website, foojanzeine.com. Go get Foojan app. We have the feature of the AI chatbot. It's called Mira. So go to Foojan app. Foojan, remember, it's called Inner Voice, a powerful inner voice, right? Go to the app. You can have it downloaded from Apple Store or Google Play. And look at all the latest features that are there, including Mira. You can go through amazing journaling, guided journaling about every relationship that you have. We have about 31 areas of life that you could do guided journaling, meditation, gain skills, and even ask any question you have from Mira, which is the AI-generated chatbot from the awareness integration theory. And Mira will answer you, give you skills, give you information, and give you reflective questions to ponder on. And you can even access therapists and coaches who are certified in this model. So you could be supported in any format that you like, in a self-help model, or somebody be there for you. And then Mira is there for you as a companion anytime you want to ask a question. So don't wait. Go get Foojan, download Foojan app. Love to hear from you. Go to all my social media platforms, share your thoughts with me. I really love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are, what you like to hear, and how I can connect to you. Now, without further ado, here's Rainie.
Listen up if you want to promote your personal growth and self-awareness. I found the Foojan app last month and I have been absolutely loving it. I personally have never learned guided meditation, but thanks to this app, I now have learned incredible tools for my own stress relief and emotional self-awareness. Not to mention, there are self-evaluation tools and professional coaching available to utilize however your journey to self-discovery takes you. Join Foojan today and redefine your life one step at a time.
Do you wish to wake up one day and hit the Life Reset button? Life Reset, the awareness integration path to create the life you want by Dr. Foojan Zeine, helps you navigate crucial life areas, heal the past traumas, and cultivate fulfilling relationships and careers. Life Reset is your guide to a profound journey to reshape your life. Grab your copy on Amazon or Audible now and embark on a path to a more joyous and fulfilled life.
It is such a joy to have you on the show. Rainie Howard, everyone. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about our conversation today.
You wrote The Love Habit and giving a lot of people tools in how to love. So
Yeah.
how come? How come this was important to you?
Yeah, so the love habit is started because I've been coaching women for over 15 years now on relationships. And what led me to write the love habit is because one of the things I discovered through the process is the relationship we have with ourselves impacts every other relationship. And so the love habit is a way for readers to learn how to implement daily habits for self care that helps them to have better relationships with others.
So part of this is about loving yourself.
Loving yourself, it starts with you. It all starts with you. And really, a lot of times it may feel like, oh, it's the relationship issue, it's this other person. But really, if you're having issues in your relationship, the first place to start with is within, and to figure out what is it that you are doing that's contributing to this relationship. And so the love habit is basically an acronym for love. To L, you want to learn about you, listen within, listen to your body, understand your needs and what are the things that are important to you when it comes to relationships. And then the O is to optimize. Once you know yourself and you have that self-awareness, now you can begin to optimize things in your life and know what it is you need to implement, whether it be daily meditation, exercise. What is it that's important for your self-care that's going to help you to have better, healthier relationships? And then the V in the love is all about validate. You want to validate yourself first before you need, a lot of times we're looking for validation externally from other people. We want other people's approval, and we often struggle with people pleasing. And so when you learn to validate yourself, you can stand on your own self confidence and have healthier relationships because you're no longer coming from a place of need. And then finally, the E in love is all about experiencing. You want to experience the love, the joy, the peace that you desire by first allowing yourself to visualize it, feel it in your daily task and your daily habits. And then you can experience it in reality in your relationships.
Beautiful. Part of the conversation that shows up for a lot of us is, well, what does loving yourself mean, right? So we we kind of are born into an environment, which is our family. And depending on how love is expressed, how it's felt and how it's expressed, and how much value we receive from, the love that is being expressed toward us, and not only toward us, but it's in the air, it's between our parents, it's between our siblings, it's between our parents and other siblings and extended family. We gain an experience about what love really feels like. And, we experience that kind of an loving act, a loving feeling. And that's something that we do have. And then obviously there's a lot of people that don't have the experience of how to love themselves. Sometimes they love others, right? Like I work, and I'm sure you do, work with women or parents who have the ability to love their child in a whole different way, but they don't give that courtesy to themselves. So although they might experience loving someone else, it might be hard for them to know how to love themselves. So let's open up this concept of what is loving yourself looks like and feels like.
Yeah, so, oftentimes it can require courage to love yourself, because sometimes when you're loving yourself, you're going to be self-advocate. So that means, for example, if someone is asking you to do a task and you're really, really tired, depleted, and you don't have the energy, and you're used to saying yes because you're used to just serving and giving and depleting yourself. Loving yourself is getting to a place where you're going to say no this time. And even though you may feel some tension in saying no, it's you saying no is protecting yourself and your peace. And you're telling yourself, listen, I value my energy right now. I'm tired. I have to say no. This person wants me to go run errands for them and, go grocery shopping or buy them this. And I'm tired and I need a break and I need to rest. And I told myself I'm going to rest today. So I'm going to say no. And sometimes that's going to require some courage, because if you're not used to saying no, you have a fear of what people are going to think of you, or they're going to be mad at you, or they're going to be upset. So you may stop yourself from saying no. So just having the courage to stand up for yourself is the first step to loving yourself. Is really putting your needs above needing to please other people. And I love how you started off saying, we come into this world, into an environment where it's about our parents. And I believe we're actually conditioned to pay more attention to how we react or how others react to us. Because with our parents as little babies, we knew that, our parents were going to, feel a certain way or be upset if they're tired. So, I have to be a good little kid, or I'm going to get in trouble, or, so our parents train us really, really well and condition us. And I mean, the outside environment, teachers and other people, peers, train us to be a certain way. And so when you are on this process and this journey of loving yourself, you're unlearning a lot of those things that you are conditioned for, and you're learning how to listen within, how to have more self-awareness, how to listen to your inner voice, how to slow down. And this is where meditation and journaling and therapy can come in, because you're really building a relationship with yourself.
So another angle of the love, the L, is also the listening. It's like listening to yourself, because in order to create that awareness, there is a process of listening. So for example, and as you were saying, if there's a process that I'm tired and I don't want to go, there's signals in our body, there's signals in our thoughts and emotions that will share with us. There's messages that our body will tell us. This is something that is beneficial for me, it's pleasurable for me, it's good for me, I should move forward with it. Or there's like, I don't have the energy, or it doesn't feel right to me, my gut feeling's saying no. As I'm observing some of the matters that's coming, it just says no to me. And then at that point, I need to listen, be aware of what's going on, and then choose and have the courage, as you say, to set some boundaries for myself and others. And those are the angles. So the listening that brings the awareness, the experience, watching, as I say a lot of times, my model of awareness integration is like you put two cameras in, right? Like the camera checks you in with your thoughts and process, your thoughts, feelings, and body, and then externally in your impact and relationship with others. So that listening supports you to create that awareness, and based on awareness of what's good for me, what works for me in the bigger picture, then I can set up, the courage to take care of myself. And that's what love looks like.
Yeah, I love that. I love the inner cameras to really see what's going on the inside with your thoughts and all of your feelings and emotions. I love that.
So you talk about optimization. So after this kind of an awareness and knowing and having the courage to take care of us and take a stand, you also talk about how to optimize and look at what it is that I can do in order to fine tune those cameras, to really see what are the ways that I can actually do the listening, what are the ways that I can communicate. Because in your book, you also talk about effective communication, because not only I'm communicating to myself, I'm also communicating to the world. So the way that I communicate to the world also creates love for myself and the betterment of our relationship. So can you share a little bit about and open the concept of optimization as you say it in your book?
Yeah. So as you begin to learn about yourself by listening, then you can say, like, for instance, you know that when you're working out or you're in the gym, maybe the next day you feel the muscle soreness, and instead of just telling yourself, okay, I need to go even harder today, listening to your body, and your body may say, oh, I'm aching so much. I need to just stretch and relax and have a recovery day. Instead of just pushing yourself and just doing something just to do it, listen to your body, listen within. Another example could be your emotions. Maybe your intuition is telling you a relationship isn't a healthy one. And this person is constantly doing you wrong. Your feelings are hurt. You feel like they're not seeing you, they're not prioritizing you like you are them. And your emotions are just screaming red flag, slow down, don't put too much into this. But your fear of being alone is you're driven by that. So listening can say, you know what? I need to spend more time with myself because I'm escaping myself by trying to fill it with an unhealthy relationship. So why don't I stop and do some journaling and really get clear on my thoughts and what's driving me to do things? What's driving me to feel so alone? And what is it that I need that I can give myself to feel more fulfilled and more heard? How can I hear myself and give myself a voice? So I think it's really about, as you learn yourself, you can learn to implement tasks in your life, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditation, exercise, whether it's joining a new support group or getting some therapy. The more you learn yourself, the more you will learn how to optimize your daily tasks to be sure that you are having not only a healthy life, but also healthy relationships with others.
Yes, you're so right. It's the opportunities to listen, to opportunities to look at, and when you are attuned with your body, as I'm hearing you also say, is that when you're attuned with your body and you're listening, all the messages are being given to us. A lot of times people who have been traumatized, who have had pain for some reason in their body, their boundaries have been broken, they kind of like disconnect. Body becomes a source of pain, so they kind of disconnect from it. If the emotions are too intense when we're a child and we can't really experience them fully because they're painful when we're teenagers, and ultimately the emotions are experienced too intensely and we don't know if we were a teenager and learn how to numb them, but alcohol and drugs, a lot of us disconnect from our body, whether we were traumatized or not. And one of the vehicles to really check in and get those information is the body. So you bring a lot of the sources, the venues that you're sharing about how to create that awareness, like exercising, like yoga, like meditation, and all of that. Is a lot of them is reconnection with your body. What do you think about that? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely about connecting with your body. And I can say in my past experience before I learned a lot of what I know, I remember years ago just being numb to those emotions and the anxiety. And it almost was like normal to have anxiety. And so when I began to do the work and experience more peace, more calm, that was such a new experience for me. And just I think there are so many people that are just operating and going through the motion and just living life, and they're not really stopping to feel or to be aware of how they're feeling. And I really do think that that is the key to getting to know yourself and getting to love yourself, because you become more sensitive to your own needs and just aware of that. And so we can be running on autopilot and going and thinking we're doing everything we're supposed to do and not know our nervous system may be out of whack, or, you know, we may have some issues going on when it comes to just being at peace and having more balance in our life. So I definitely think it's important to, which is some of the things I've implemented in my life, like yoga, being able to feel my body and feel what's going on and my emotions, and just understand what this means.
I've been very disconnected with my body for many years due to a lot of like childhood traumas. And I remember when first I was entering, kind of like relaxing into my body and willing to feel, it was intense. It was really intense. And I even remember we're going to a massage, and I kind of experienced even like lifting from my body and not even experiencing the massage. It took me a while to actually come back and re-enter and enjoy being in my body and then listening to it, as you say. I know that as I'm aging, my body, you know, different parts of my body are having a pain, and I'm like, maybe I should get out of it again. But the coming back and even looking at, okay, maybe I need to look at pain and being with pain in a whole different way. And, you know, allowing the pain to tell me that I shouldn't, like what you explained, like I shouldn't go beyond a certain point because my body's telling me that I need to stop. So not only that I set boundaries with other people, I need to set boundaries with myself and not pushing my body going, you know, forward. And that also becomes loving my body. So part of the loving of the self is really looking at this entity that I'm inside, and it's a tool, it's a vehicle that is making me alive and move and be productive and be vital and all of it. And if I'm not respecting it, if I'm not listening to it, if I'm not loving it, then I can damage, I can injure, and I can, you know, become very, very non-functional and become more, you know, have more pain. So that listening and loving, it really, like our body is the vehicle to communicate with, and that's who we are with the world, not only with ourselves, with the world. So coming back, becoming aware of it and loving it, it seems like one of the really factors that it's important, and you share and how to do that in your book. Now let's go to the V.
Okay. Yes, validate. So the reason why this is so important is because what I've learned just from an author and a coach, I wrote a book called You Are Enough. Is it real love or your need for validation? And the reason why I was led to write that book is because I noticed that a lot of the clients that I was coaching on that was dealing with toxic relationships, they were entering into these relationships and they were like, well, I'm in love and I feel like I really love this person. And the big question was, you know, they were stuck in a trauma bond. And the question was, is it really love or your need for validation? See, this relationship is validating you. This person is validating you in some way that you're not validating yourself. And so you're seeking something from this toxic relationship, and you have this bond connection. And so what I discovered is, in addition to us struggling with people pleasing, which many of us do, and it's really like, again, how we're conditioned, the validation and the need for external approval is what's keeping us stuck into in unhealthy relationships, unhealthy behaviors. We are stuck with some way of gaining external validation. And so when we learn how to validate ourselves, and you can do this, one of the ways that I learned to do this is through speaking positive affirmations, speaking life over my situation, and speaking that I can do great things and that I am loved and I am healthy. And, speaking these positive words is a reassurance of who you desire to be and who you really are, and that then the more we speak it, the more we believe it. Even in the beginning without believing it, because in the beginning, I didn't always believe that, I was confident and all of those great things. But the more I spoke it, the more I believed it, and the more I began to see myself show up that way. I believe that our words do feed us. It's our spiritual food. And as we speak and listen to certain things, we are receiving those things. And as we begin to validate ourselves, we can receive more positive interactions with others as well. And it boosts your confidence. So that's a big part of the love habit.
And it's almost like what I really want to hear from other people about myself. Can I say it to myself? Because those are the things. It's just so important for us to get validation for others. There's so much we do in order to get the validation from others. And, that has been in not only conditioned culturally, but I think evolutionary. We needed to watch people, other tribes or animals' behaviors in order to know if we were safe or not. So if we know we were in a jungle and we're watching an animal come or somebody from another tribe come, we needed just the way they looked at us, their body language to see, do I need to run away? Am I going to be harmed? Is this going to be safe? So this is kind of innate with us where we're watching other people and seeing, how that's going to affect us. And then the other side of it is that we find we build our own personality based on other people's view of us, right? Like a child doesn't have anything except they look at the way their mother, their father, their nanny, their nana, their friends, they all look at the teachers, look at them and say something about them. And with that, they formulate kind of who they are. So there is a part of us that needs that validation from others to know that we're significant, that we matter. So we know what we want to hear. And I'm hearing from you is like, I already know what I want to hear. So can I say that to myself and believe it? Because if I'm presenting myself in a way that I can have others say that about me, then that must be true about me. And how can I say it to myself so I believe it also?
Yeah. I think we underestimate the power we have to reinvent ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't know that we don't have to always be, the person who's late getting somewhere or the person who's struggling with their business or financial issues. Like we can reinvent ourselves and become thriving and productive and powerful as we begin to validate who we are and who we desire to be and to speak the things that we desire to see show up in our lives. We have that power. And I think, like you said, we're often looking at other people and other people we're giving them the power to not only judge us, but also to create our identity. Because we're looking at them and we're showing up and we're reinforcing what they're showing us that we are. But we're not who they see us as. We are more than that. And so as we tap in and we get connected with our inner voice and know who we are and our purpose, we can begin to speak and create the identity we desire to see show up in life. Yeah. And that's where I start. Because, we can let our past define us and trauma and abuse and all those things. They can really shape a person and a person can become everything that they've been through. But we also have the power to not become what we've been through, to really heal from that and to put away with the past and to move forward in the future we desire.
And look at more of our resilience and how we made it, because that's also part of who we are, regardless of how vulnerable we were at the time of, being traumatized or whatever was happening at that moment that we felt our powerlessness and vulnerability. We also experienced our resilience. I mean, if we're all alive here at this point, there was there was some endurance there. There was some resilience that got us there, right? So to also kind of acknowledge that it's so important. Everyone, The Love Habit by Rainie Howard. Daily self-care practices for the happier life and healthier relationship. Rainie, let's go to the E.
All right. So the E is all about experiencing. You want to begin to experience the love, the joy, the peace, the prosperity, the abundance you want in your life, and you can experience it now. You don't have to wait to see it physically show up. And so the way that I love to experience the love, joy, peace, the things that I desire is through visualization techniques. I like to start in my morning to just visualize myself having a positive, productive, joyous day. And although sometimes things happen and the day doesn't always happen the way you want it to, when you begin to experience and visualize what you desire, you can handle things when they come up and they don't come the way you want them to. You can handle them better. And so this is why it's important to have a vision for yourself, for your life, for your day, and experience the love, the positive thoughts, all of those things. You don't have to wait to see them physically show up. You can have them emotionally and spiritually and mentally. You can really live in that joy, And so I think that's another thing, just knowing the power that is within and being able to tap into that.
Beautiful. Anything we haven't said that you really want people to know?
Well, what I want people to know is, again, and I think I said this, but I just want to reinforce it because I think it's so important. You have the power to create the life you desire. You don't have to be a victim of unhealthy relationships. You don't have to be a victim of struggle and trauma. You can overcome those things. And I'm a living witness because I've been through depression. I've been through anxiety, panic attacks. I've been through low points in my life. And the way that I got out of them was making a decision that I was not going to stay in that. I made that decision. I spoke life. And even when my emotions wanted to be depressed, I spoke, I am not going to go there. And I learned that I have that power to really thrive in who I desire to be when I speak life over myself and I make the decision to be happy, even if happiness is not around, or to be at peace, even when things are chaotic. I made the decision that this is what I'm going to do. And so I want everyone listening, watching, to know that you can make that decision for your life as well.
Absolutely. I think that the power that we could look at what part of life, what part of everyday life I am a co-creator with, life doesn't just happen to me, that there's something that I'm doing that I do, I'm part of this dance, and how can I take care of my own steps in order to be able to move this dance in a way that it's either a flow from me, that I can be a part of this flow, or I can, shift the steps into what works and creates alignment between me and the world around me. And so I love it that the love habit really looks at the different angles of how you could look at yourself, listen to yourself, become aware of yourself, create love, have the courage to take a stand for yourself, optimize it in a way that you see every angle, and have the time to be with you so that you get to know yourself and create who you are and validate yourself to the best of who you are, and who you really know yourself as. Keep reminding yourself of the best of you, and then experience life, put yourself out there and really experience life as is today, now, and create and co-create life with what all that shows up in front of you. And yes, ups and downs are there, hills and valleys are there, but ultimately, if we're moving forward, there's some good stuff that's happening inside of us that we could really rely on. How could people find you?
You can find me at rainiehoward.com. Also, I have an online bookstore, lovebook.store. And I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can find me in those platforms.
And you have your own podcast.
Yes, the Rainie Howard Show as well. Yes.
Awesome. It was such a joy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a great conversation.
Beautiful. And for all of you who are out there, create an amazing life for yourself and everyone around you. And until next week, bye-bye.
Are you a psychotherapist looking to enhance your practice? The Awareness Integration Therapy developed by Dr. Foojan Zeine is a comprehensive guide to the principle and techniques of this powerful therapeutic approach. Join the growing community who have elevated their practice and expanded their skills by embracing Awareness Integration Therapy and witnessing its life-changing impact. Order your copy on Amazon now.